career in the business without going to the earlier parts of it. It was in government. And I got to live on the other side of the fence, so I know what it looked like. I made my name when I called the 1987 stock market crash. And in those days, you sent out press releases. We sent out about 5,000 of them. Those days, there were tons of newspapers. And the media wasn't owned by 6 companies as they are now. 6 companies owned about 91% of all the media. I also, in our magazine, The Trends Journal, in October of 1999, we had .com crash. We said it would crash by the second quarter of 2000, and it crashed in March of 2000. And I also had the Asian currency crisis that I called, and in 2007, I took out the domain name, the panic of '08. I knew the markets were going to crash. You know, the whole thing was artificially built up with the derivatives and the mortgage rates. You didn't have to have a job. You could be in debt, the subprime mortgages, and you could buy a house, which is just, it was so fraudulent in front of everybody's eyes. That's part of my career on the economic front. And then I thought things would crash again in 2012 because they were pumping in trillions of dollars between 2007 and 2010. The Federal Reserve, and this is according to the Levy Institute at Bard College, pumped in $29 trillion into the insider trading. They're selling out now big time. It's like $69 billion. Meantime, stock buybacks are hit at an all-time high because they're getting the money for nothing, buying back the stock so it looks like there's less of them available, and keep artificially pushing the prices up. Look at merger and acquisition activity, all-time high, cheap money. When you look at the real interest rate, what was the inflation rate that just came out? What was it, 6.8%? No, this is criminal what's going on in America. It's a crime right in front of our eyes. Oh, you're too big to fail. Hey, we screwed all these people with subprime mortgages, derivatives deals, all this crap, and now we're losing money? Give it back to us. Okay, so what did the Federal Reserve do from 2007 to 2010? Oh, they only pumped in $29 trillion into the system for the banksters. $29 trillion from 2007 to 2010. So I think this thing's going to run out in 2012. It's finished. I was wrong. They didn't teach me about zero interest rate policy and a scam called quantitative easing in Economics 101 or graduate school. So, you can't get it right all the time. Life, of course, you never get it right all the time. But even when you're sticking with the facts, they don't mean anything anymore. The whole game has changed. As I look at it, it's a crime syndicate in the sense that on the war end, they'll kill anybody they want in any place at any time for any reason. What's your favorite war? Hey, I'm a bankster. I'm too big to fail. Who are you? You're a nobody. Oh, how about this one with the COVID war? You're a non-essential business. Hey, but Walmart, you're all right. Home Depot, you could keep depoting. Lowe's, you're fine. So what I'm saying is, it's very difficult now to forecast where the trends are going because the game is so rigged. The reason they're keeping the inflation numbers artificially low, you're comparing this to 1982 inflation, if you use the same index that they used in 1980, inflation would be at 15%. They're keeping it low so they don't have to raise interest rates. And number two, because when inflation goes up, so too does Social Security. So why give the little people of Slavelandia more money? We'll artificially keep the inflation rate down. So your real inflation rate's around 15%. And by the way, there's an end game to this. And the way we see it is they're going to start doing away with all the currencies and coming up with new names for them, and they're all going to be digital. They're going to be digital. We're getting rid of them dirty dollars. You don't want to touch that crap, so we're going digital. How could the markets keep going up? It's GSB, gold, silver, and Bitcoin. And they're going to go down when interest rates go up, but the economy is going to go down too.
So they're going to go down temporarily, and then they're going to escalate very rapidly as people realize how bad it is. And the only thing that's keeping people from seeing, again, we talked about inflation rate, what's the facade that's making it look like everything is okay are the equity markets.
There's a thing called a plunge protection check. If it goes down too far, they come in. Oh, yeah, how about this one? Let's go back to 2019. I mean, that's not ancient history. Everything was going down. All of a sudden, what happens? They're dumping money into the repo market. $7 trillion from September 2019 to January 2020. A democracy? Are you kidding me? Again, look at this baloney that they're spewing out about this Inflation Reduction Act. It's an oxymoron. It has nothing to do with inflation reduction, and you have to be a moron to believe it.
We're in an economic crisis, I believe is the worst in modern history, with them inflating, artificially pumping up the economy. What are we, over $30 trillion in debt, $31 trillion in debt. It's going to bring down the housing market. The crash we see is in the commercial business sector. Again, the higher interest rates go, the more money people have to pay on their loans, particularly if they're variable, which, by the way, just happened up in Canada. They got a lot of variable interest rates up there, and they just raised the interest rate there 50 basis points. So we believe, we're forecasting, the big downturn is going to happen in 2023. It takes time for this stuff to take hold. But then don't worry about it, because when 2024 comes, they're going to lower interest rates in the United States in time for the presidential reality show. You know, I remember back in the 70s when all this started to happen. And then it got a lot worse because of Bill Clinton, with NAFTA, our jobs leaving America, going to poor labor countries. You don't have to pay a lot to get stuff made. And then bringing China into the World Trade Organization. Biden bought part of it. So the trade deficits are ridiculous. The debt levels over $31 trillion in the United States. And again, what's going to happen when they raise interest rates, gold prices will probably go down, but so too will foreign currencies. And the emerging markets borrow their money in dollars. So as their currencies go lower, they have to pay more. Well, again, Mussolini called it the merger of state and corporate powers. I mean, look at this chip bill that they did, this multi-billion dollar chip bill. Yeah, go open a place up here. Here's money to go do it. Hey, I'm a big guy. I want tax credits. The rest of you workers of slave land, you pay everything. Look what the IRS, $80 billion go into the IRS so they can hunt down the small businesses and we the little people of Slavelandia. You think the Buffetts and the Gates and all the big shots out there don't know how to beat the system and have the whole deal done? They're not going to get a penny from them. They're going to go after us. So I call it a communist fascist state.
The merger of state and corporate powers, under the definition by a guy by the name of Benito Mussolini, a paisano of mine that I'm not so happy about, called it fascism. So when we're looking at trends again and trying to forecast where they're going, you have to look at what the government has become. Look what they did with the COVID war. Hey, stay home. We're closing down your business. We're closing down your jobs, but here's free money. Oh, where's the money coming from? Don't worry about it. We're printing it. We're making this stuff up. Just shut your mouth. Stay home. $6 trillion pumped into it. And then I got this clown guy that's now becoming the Fed head over there in Chicago, Goolsbee, saying that, oh no, the inflation was caused by supply chain disruptions? Who are you talking to? What am I, 6 years old? No, you are a plantation worker of Slavelandia, so you swallow our crap. That's what's going on today.